Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. This is your breakfast bankroll for Tuesday, May 24th, 2022. The last full week of May as June is knocking. It's Memorial Day weekend. And let's get those barbecues ready. Beaches, hopefully, ballparks and all that good stuff for the ECSI VIPs. We drop, I think it was just over a unit and 10 cents. We played 4 half unit plays. We catch the Brewers first 5 with a win. This is the third time in less than 8 days. We had a 4-0 lead in the first 5. We had Kansas City first 5 minus 105. 4-0 first inning, 5-3 lead. They can't hold on. We lose that. And we had KC full game for a half unit, and we had Brewers full game for a half unit. And of course, they have a 2-0 lead, and it's 2-2, and they lose 3-2 in 10. So we end up losing, I think, 1.1 unit for the day. It's okay. Big baseball slate. Everyone's in play. 2 NHL games. Carolina looks to take a 3-1 lead, or Rangers look to tie it up, and the Rangers are now favored at home. First time they've been favored. Calgary, Edmonton. Calgary looking to shake the cobwebs. Evander Kane and McDavid and company are just lights out. Edmonton now favored first time, and they've been favored in the series. And I'm just looking at an exact number here. Give it to me. Dallas 1-point favorites, under over 215.5, as they try to stave off elimination and bring it back to Golden State. I said it on our Discord channel yesterday, tongue in cheek. The NBA needs Dallas today, and why I say that is Celtics Heat tomorrow, Game 5. That would set up Golden State and Dallas Game 5 on Thursday. Guaranteed Game 6, obviously, for the Celtics on Friday. And at least you got the potential set up for a Game 7 on Sunday, and the NBA needs their weekend action. So without further ado, let's bring in our co-hosts from the Windy City, getting ready to embrace the red-hot Red Sox, who we remember what you did to us the first time that we matched up against you. So don't think we're coming in not ready for a little revenge. So the one and only Mr. Riley Magnuson. Good morning, sir.
Morning, my friend. I've got my pitchfork ready for the next 3 days. We're getting locked and loaded for you on the south side down there for the Red Sox. But decent evening for myself last night. As far as little Phillies action, took care of business. Pretty sweat free. Giants, the complete opposite though. Was talking about them a little bit. San Francisco. That was not a bounce back start for. I think it was Cobb, if I'm not mistaken. I could be blanking on that, but nonetheless, I'm ready to dive in. Your Celtics got the easy win last night, put us to bed early, as I tweeted it out last night. I think we'll have probably at least one good game, like I was mentioning at the end of the show yesterday. We're gonna get some good NBA games coming soon, and I think we got one on our way tonight. But we'll have to see. But how are things on your end, my friend? I'm ready to rock and roll.
I'm sitting here last night, got the Celtics on in the background. I'm trying to take a look at today's card, and I'm just shaking my head. I turned to the wife and I was like, do you know, I was there Saturday and they did not lead for 1 second of the game. They lost the opening tip and the rest was history. Right. And I had to sit there and watch the Celtics get out 18-1, and I'm just shaking my head. And I just like, we had Julian on. We kind of expected this. Julian gave out that in-game parlay. Tatum over 29.5 in the Celtics money line. And let me just tell you what was going through my head. Tatum had 28. Yeah. And he sat with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. And I said to myself, because the Celtics were up 25 at that point, I said to myself, Wouldn't that be something if he sat Tatum the rest of the game and he got stuck on 28 and he got in there before the end of the third quarter? He hits a three to get to 31. And I think that's where he ended up was on 31.
Yeah, I think so, and that's the danger when you play. And it was a fantastic advice. Obviously, fantastic winner. That's the danger, though, right? When you have those, when you're really confident that the Celtics are going to take care of business, you kind of put it out of your mind that maybe they might win by 20, 30 points, and your guy that you expect to be the reason they win might be done halfway through the third quarter. So, credit to him, credit to you guys. Great show, great winner there. But yeah, we've got a series on our hands, 2-2. Did you mention what the active lines for the full series are, or have you not mentioned that yet?
No, I'm going to something last night that I go to the Bible right now and see what our buddies at Circa have to say on series. Righty, basketball series. Celtics minus 180, Heat plus 155.
Oh, wow. FanDuel's got it Celtics minus 155, Heat plus 130. So a little bit closer on that one. And Tatum minus 110 to win Eastern Conference MVP. Butler 185 to plus 185 to win Eastern Conference MVP. So if you think the Celtics are going to roll, that might be. I mean, no one else is going to come out of nowhere and take that away from Tatum, right? If the Celtics win the series.
I got one name; they'll never give it to him. No, Al Horford has just been
sure.
Al, big Al.
Yeah, as far as, the high ceiling, low floor for the series, I mean, if you got the floor of Al Horford, then things might be a little different, right? Whereas Tatum's obviously the leading man there. But yeah, I don't know. Any thoughts on tonight's game as far as Dallas and Golden State? Like I think I told, was it yesterday? I said I think Luka's got at least one last bullet in the chamber as far as kind of a last stand performance here tonight.
Here's what I will say to anyone that's listening that wants to listen here. I'm not a big in-game guy. I'm not. I just feel it once you get caught up into the in-game, you have entered the dark side, because I can talk to you to hours and hours of people just getting crippled in the in-game. It's no fun. It's a web you can't get out of. I call it quicksand, so I don't not talk about it that often.
Right.
I will say this. I would go to the window right now. I would take Dallas money line, and I would watch the first quarter. If Golden State comes out, guns are blazing, 9 for 11, 6 for 7 from 3, they get out early. Just wait for a time to get back in, or you just wash your hands clean. I think they're going to come. They're going to give it one big effort to try to just take the heart out and blow this team off the floor, so they can have a full week off. But if it gets tight, or if Dallas comes in free swinging and knocks them down, I think the mentality will be, hey, you know what? Let's give them their one game here, and we're going to go back home in 2 days, and we'll give them, because they don't forget now. They did this in the Memphis series. They had opportunities and they got blown right out. So that's where my head is.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. And we might be sitting at another, quick, one way or another, quick 10, double-digit deficit in the first quarter, and that might be the story of the game, how it goes. But yeah, I think the general public is just hoping for at least a watchable game, let alone a game that they can make some serious money on as far as these Eastern and Western Conference finals are going. Man, I mean, we're just getting blowout after blowout right now. Is there any? Maybe this is the point where it stops for the most part, but I was even thinking I've never done anything like this, but taking just alternate lines just because these teams are blowing each other out one way or another, and you get, I don't even know what the odds would be on an alternate line, like -10 or something like that either way on a spread like this. I'm not even sure. I've never checked on anything like that.
That's some great information right there, because again, on our show yesterday, Julian brought it up. The Celtics were 12-2 after a loss,
right?
Their last 14, and their average win was right around 20, and I think that's what it landed on, is 20. So the fact of the matter is, you could have went in there and got some alternate lines, plus -10.5, -12, whatever. The books just give out so much crap anyways now. So just with that, there's hasn't been many close games.
Right.
Now, I expect game 5 and 6 and maybe 7 for the Celtics Heat are going to be close, but
Right.
what do I know? Have you
Right.
seen an actual opening line yet on the Celtics and Heat?
For game 5,
Yeah,
I don't know that I have. Let's see. Actually, yeah, for tomorrow night, Celtics -1.5 on FanDuel.
that's what I told Julian. I says they were 7, and I said basic math in my head had 1.5 or 2, so they opened at 1.5, and I guess we'll sift through who's playing and who's not playing.
Right. And I'm just looking back. Celtics were +1 in game 4 in Miami. Or no, I'm sorry. Do I have that right?
No,
Yeah, okay, no, game 2, sorry, and +5 in game 1 in Miami there. So, yeah, so that one's going the Celtics way for sure. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. The Heat have won. I don't think it changed last night unless they got one of the later quarters. Coming in yesterday, they had only won 2 quarters. So, it could be Celtics in 6 unless you've got any type of NBA just trying to extend it as long as it can to get some entertainment and value out of a 7-game series for TV rights and whatnot. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if the Celtics rolled in game 5 and 6 too.
well, they have the perfect storm here. So you're going to have a Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, at least for the
Yeah.
NBA on the long weekend. They're going to be butt out. It looks like out west, unless Luca can, provide some kind of miracle. The
Right.
funny thing is when you win that one game, and then Luca's come into other buildings
Yeah.
with house money in Utah, in Phoenix, and they've stolen the game. And that would be something if they could, steal today, win today, steal game 5, and at least get you to that game 6 where you start wondering after that.
Yeah. Right, 100%. And gun to my head, I do feel like the Warriors, we have enough pedigree as far as championship pedigree and some just firepower to stave that type of stuff off. But you're absolutely right. It totally could. Because you're right. Stealing in tonight's isn't the right word. I think they can actually just win tonight. But stealing, that game 5 at Golden State, I think that's definitely the right word there. Because I personally don't see Golden State losing there in Game 5 at home, just the way they're playing right now. But we'll see. Obviously, what do I know? These games have been madness. So I wish it was Warriors Suns, just because I thought it would have been a better series. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, I'm a big Luka fan, so hopefully we can get some more action here.
I'm going to pull up the let's try to bring up some sports insight for everyone today. Let's see if we can get that up here. All right, that's the biggest I can get it, guys. Here's today's baseball board. First pitch for the first game is at 6:35. This is 6:35, 6:40, and then in come the 7s, 8s, and 9s. So a full slate. The board is yours, where your eyes are when it comes to outrights, maybe some props or anything that you see right now.
Yeah, let's see. I think the first one I was interested in was I'm just trying to get my stuff up. Tampa Bay hosting Miami there. Pablo Lopez and McClanahan, who I believe maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm a big fan of McClanahan. I think you are as well. Is that correct? Yeah. And that one, I mean, I also like Pablo Lopez, but you're basically getting. I think that's just you kind of have to honor that opening line. If I'm looking at this, I give not only McClanahan an edge, but Tampa Bay has an edge versus right-handers, which Lopez is, compared to Miami versus left-handers. Miami's a lot stronger against right-handed pitchers. So I don't know. You find anything there as far as you like any first 5 -0.5, full game, anything there, or not enough value for you on that one?
Well, you speak in my language in this regards. Big Pablo Lopez fan.
Yeah.
McClanahan is a beast, and the opening number is 155. That is such a number when Lopez is pitching. So I like where your head is there, saying, I always talk respect and trust the opening number. They're looking for Marlin money. There's no doubt about it. I think the chatter all day will be, Jesus, I can get Lopez at plus 130, plus 135. So obviously we're not going to pay the initial tax for the Rays, but minus the half run, first 5 would be somewhere you want to go dancing. The problem is it could be 0-0 or 1-1 after 5. And under over is only 6.5 as well. So tough one to be laying the lumber, no pun intended there.
Yeah, no, I that's kind of where I was at my head's at. I mean, I lean towards Tampa Bay, but I just don't. When I trust both pitchers, I don't like laying a half run in the first 5 innings by any means. So I'll probably stay away from that one. It's interesting, the 6.5 there. I think there's one other one on the slate that's 6.5. Otherwise, over the contrary to the first month and a half, the last I think 10 days or so, we haven't been seeing as many of these 6.5 7s. So interesting to see there as far as a total. Obviously, you and I have spoken. We're not, we don't love these baseball totals, but that's at least something to note as far as maybe these guys, both come out swinging in this one. So next one, didn't have a ton of interest. I don't know about you as far as Cubs and Reds, Stroman and Maile. I'm not sure exactly, whatever you want to pronounce that, but I don't have too much personal edge on either side there. Baltimore and Yankees is interesting for me as far as at least something to mention. I think Baltimore got the win, if I'm not mistaken, against the Yankees yesterday. Yankees minus 245. Both guys lefties. Both pitchers, though, facing the opposing offense for the 4th time already this season. So I don't know if you take stock in anything on either side here for that or if it's just business as usual. But I think... I've talked about, obviously, a lot of people love Baltimore against lefties last year. Hasn't been as lucrative this year, and the Yankees have been really good against lefties. But anything to take away as far as, these offenses have seen these guys a handful of times now coming into this 4th time here?
It's like when I saw yesterday Cole minus 300, 310, 320, whatever the number was. I just kind of, my eyes roll right past it. I say, good luck, boys. And because everyone sees these opportunities as, walk in the parks. I got the Yankees, every which way but lose team total. I got them first 5. I got them full game. I got them this. I got them that. And it's just like you're spot on with your facts here. I think the Yankees have now lost 3 in a row, if that's not correct. I thought.
Yep. Sox got him. My Sox got him for 2, and then the Orioles got him last night. Yep.
Yeah. So the world's ending, and Judge is just hitting 2 more homers. It's a game, and the line I'm showing our line predictor, and it's pointing down. So Circa opened them up at minus 244, now minus 222, and dropping there. So under over of 8 now, 7.5 in a couple spots. Again, wasn't invited to the wedding. Won't be at the funeral. I'll let someone else dance on that one.
I think that's where I'm at too. It was just really interesting. I think there was a couple other offenses that are seeing a guy for the 3rd time, but seeing someone or almost the end of the May, and it's already the 4th time you're seeing both of these guys. That was just a quick interesting for me. Another one that I'm interested, if you're thinking similarly to the top one, or the first one that we talked about, Tampa Bay and Miami, Philly and Atlanta. Atlanta up to about minus 175-ish, maybe a little bit less than that. I think open about 160, minus 160. Gibson and Max Fried. The way it seems to me in this line is telling me not a ton of faith in Gibson right now. He's been giving up a lot of base runners, a lot of hits, getting himself in a lot of jams. So I don't know that I want to lay this number here for the Braves. But are you respecting this number here as far as the Braves are concerned?
I've been saying Gibson's been sneaky. Scott will tell me otherwise. I'm a big Fried guy. Philly seemed to be putting a little something together. A big win for Zach yesterday. I liked the Phillies' first 5. I don't trust their back end yesterday. I leave them on the desk. I went to what I thought was safer waters, which obviously ended up not being. If I was to tiptoe into this, I'd be looking at some Atlanta first 5s minus the hook. And I'm a guy that doesn't do this often. I don't like taking the full 1.5 on home teams because I'm only guaranteed the 24 outs.
Right.
But being the Phillies back end is so bad, I might even look into a Atlanta full game minus the 1.5 here as well.
Yeah, I think the thing that kept me away at the conclusion before we started was the Braves are one of these teams that just aren't hitting right-handers very well right now. I think that changes today. I'm with you. I think this is a time for the Braves to step up here. That was really the biggest thing that kept me away though. The other one that I was interested in, Rangers at the Angels. You've got Dane Dunning and Syndergaard. Not sure. I'm a little, kind of throwing my hands up as far as Syndergaard is concerned. He's obviously hit the skids the last couple and I think it was against these Rangers last time out. Didn't make it out of the first inning. So I don't know if we see a bounce back from him or not. I kind of am calling for Dane Dunning regression one way or another. This is another guy. This is the third time he's facing the Angels. I've been a little familiar with him over the years. He used to be, on the south side of Chicago over here. He's a guy that's kind of a poster child that whether it's within the same game as far as seeing a guy for the third time within a game or seeing a guy now, I think, for the third time in a season where you really start to see some regression. That's kind of what I'm predicting out of this one. So I don't know if it's enough to get me interested in the Angels because I'm not sure. Personally, I'm kind of throwing my hands up on what we're seeing from Syndergaard. This is a kind of a rare case where I'm interested in at least interested in the Angels over 4.5 runs, team total over 4.5 runs in this one. Any thoughts on this one from you?
If my memory serves me correct, please correct me if I'm right or wrong. Syndergaard didn't get out of the first in his last outing, correct?
Yep, and that was against these Rangers, actually. Yep.
So I would expect a bounce back. Dunning has been hit or miss for us. We did go against him his last start, and I think we snuck out a win. I think, though, it was in the back end of it. I would be leaning Syndergaard first 5 minus the hook on the bounce back here. Look for the Angels. Let me see where I am with the Angels right now. 1 second. Angels. 26-17. Texas is 18-22. If you believe in the good start, bad start, I would expect, again, unless there's something wrong with Syndergaard, which again, I don't.
Right.
He's not the Syndergaard of old. Okay.
I don't think he would be stepping up today if there was something wrong with him. Right.
Agreed. Yeah. Unless he's going to step up to see if there's something wrong.
Maybe.
So I think it's a good spot for the Angels.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm interested in the Angels in general, and I think they put up some runs today, one way or another. So not always into team totals, but the couple times that I am, I typically like some stuff there. The other one, interesting line as far as this one is concerned, and then I think the last one that I was at least interested in talking was the one Sox versus Sox over here. Brewers and Padres. Brewers only minus 134. Corbin Burns on the mound. Blake Snell for the Padres. His second start of his season. I think he was in his first appearance, 3 2/3, 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks. So, and Burns 7 hits. I think this was his worst outing, only bad outing, maybe if I'm not wrong. 7 hits, 4 runs in his last outing. But we're getting a nice tasty. If you think Burns is bouncing back minus 135, you're getting a nice line for the Brewers. But I don't know, I'm getting some red flags as far as that one is concerned. That we might see a second iffy start from Burns if I do say so myself. What are your thoughts on this one?
I was following this game. We had the Brewers' first 5 in full game yesterday. They took a quick 2-0 lead. They had the bases loaded, no outs, and didn't score, which I knew right then we were going to be in trouble. Padres, without Tatis, 28-14. They've just been gritty. Machado, Hosmer. They've just been putting the pieces together. And this was the team that a lot of people was expecting last year. And they're kind of this year's Giants. They're going to be the one putting the pressure on the Dodgers the whole time. Snell's second time back. They're kind of enticing you to take Milwaukee. I mean, that's where the number is. Right. I mean, they opened minus 130. It's a little steep for me. No, I shouldn't say that. Let me backtrack that. Minus 130. Listen, guys, if you're going to complain about a 130 or 132 or 135, well, good luck just going in there and picking the coin flips. Right. Sometimes, when you have a good piece of steak, you got to eat some of the grizzle and fat to get to the good piece of the steak. Okay. Right. So they're not going to give you a Burns free of grizzle or fat or steak. Right. You know what I mean? So that 131 is the price of playing poker here. Right. So when you try to get cute here, Riley, and lay the half a run where a Blake Snell could be on and could get him 4 or 5, and you're stuck at 1-1-0-0-2-2, where you didn't want to spend the 133 on the money line, and a push is sometimes good.
No, absolutely. I'm staying away from the Brewers. This one, for with Burns in a bounce back spot, this one stinks to me. Something stinks about this one, and I don't want any part of it. So I don't want any action on Snell in his second start after he wasn't very good in his first one. But I don't know. Something about this has got me interested in the Padres here. And then I didn't have any crazy thoughts on the back half of the slate. And then, just the last one I wanted to mention, obviously that we already mentioned a tiny bit, but Red Sox, White Sox, Pivetta and Cease. I mean, should we expect anything else, anything other than a pitcher's duel, or do you like your Red Sox chances against Cease here in this one?
This is game 2 after the Yankee blow up, right? He got crushed against the Yankees, and then he was lights out his last start, wasn't he?
I'm double checking. That sounds right. I think he was really good against the Royals, if I'm not wrong. Yep. Yeah, 5 2/3, 7 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 9 Ks last time out.
Okay. I will tell you this, Pivetta, I can't believe I'm going to say this, has been nails. He's been lights out. It's amazing. I got egg on my face. I basically said before the season started, Pivetta is a good guy to get you 4, 5, or 6. He's an innings eater. He's going to give up 3 or 4 runs, and then you guys are going to have to battle back. The same thing I said for Rich Hill. The same thing I said again for Michael Walker. And boy, do I have egg on my face. And we all talked about Cease. Cease is a potential Cy Young winner. He has Cy Young stuff. A couple of years ago when I had that Erod ticket at 300 to 1 to have the most wins in the majors, I got beat by Verlander. And anyone that hasn't looked at Verlander's stuff right now, the guy is stupid right now. He is Cy Verlander again. We got Manoah with 6 wins. Verlander's got 6 wins. And I was talking to my buddy yesterday about it. And I'm like, man, you do remember who beat me a couple of years ago? And he said, yep, Verlander. I said, yeah, Cy Verlander, exactly. So, the mindset here, Riley, is that this is going to be a great pitcher's duel. Pavetta's overdue to get his boobs lit up. I think the Sox offense is not just clicking, it's confident right now. Trevor Story is in fuego. The rest of the team is following his suit. And, I'll go off record here and say the under-over is 7.5. There is an 8 at FanDuel. I wouldn't be shocked if it's 4-4 after 5.
I kind of agree with you. I'm gonna stay away, but I like the White Sox chances anytime Cease is on the mound. But there's been a couple prices when this is too steep for me, and I don't feel confident that they're going to win this. Be ahead after 5, as opposed to, like you said, whether it's 4-4, 3-3, 2-2. I don't know, or let alone the -1.5 on the full game. I'm sitting back on this one for sure, and I think we'll probably have some more value on this series here in game 2 and 3 if I do say so myself here.
I'm going to just do a quick rundown on the eye test, see if anything pops. We will have no afternoon show, guys, no midday market report, but I will be back for the closing bell, hopefully. If we're not, I will reach out on the timeline, and I'll put everything up there. You talked about Chicago, Cincinnati. I'm 2 teams that kind of, what at us. I'm just going to leave that there. I think on paper, obviously Bueller versus Gray. The only way you could get in there is, minus the hook or a full game. I think there'll be a big public play this afternoon or today there. We talked about Fried versus Gibson. We talked about Burns Snell. Bassett versus Webb. I said on the show yesterday, I liked the Cobb factor. I liked the spot, but I prefaced when I go against the Mets, exactly what happened yesterday. Their offense wakes up, and you're sitting there with nothing you can do there. You're getting a great price on Webb right now, -121 at circa full game to beat the Mets. But the Mets look to be resilient. They're like, hey, no DeGrom, no Max, no McGill, no problem. The Mets right now are 29-15. And if I look across the desk, I don't see anyone with 30 wins.
I don't think so. I think the Yankees and Mets are right there, right?
Oh my God, are we talking Subway Series already?
I
Yeah,
heard it
they both have
mentioned.
29. They both have
Yeah.
29.
Yeah, and then yeah, Dodgers and Padres are at 28 there. Yep.
Yeah.
So I think they. I mean, everyone other than Judge is already starting to cool down for the Yankees. So yeah, as far as I'm sure, you were probably a bigger Yankee hater than I am, obviously over there. But we're not very friendly with the Yankees over here either. So
Um, Talked about Baltimore, Minnesota, Detroit. No thanks. As we speak, Golden Nugget just moved Minnesota to -250. Gee, you guys are
yeah,
nice today. Um, Talked about the Sox versus Sox. Um, Plesac versus Valdez, the Guardians at Houston. Uh, Guardians with a shocking win yesterday. Was that correct?
I didn't see. Yeah, 6-1 yesterday. Yep.
So Houston's bats have cooled off. Could expect maybe a little bounce back there. You're going to have to pay a price there. I talked about the Angels. I kind of like Syndergaard in a bounce back in the first five minus the hook, maybe a full game minus the 1.5 there. Oakland, Seattle, Kirby minus 160. No thanks. I mean, the Caprillion kid has not been good. Kirby has shown flashes, but I'm not paying that kind of number with the Mariners. We talked about Miami, Tampa. That's going to be one hell of a game. A game we didn't talk about. A walk-off grand slam for Goldie last night.
Oh yeah.
As St. Louis is now 24-18, Toronto 22-20. Vegas is making you pay the piper here. Gosman opened at 146. Circa has it now at 138. I gotta respect the opening number there. I have Hicks on our high stakes fantasy team. I mean, you got to figure Gosman here and a bounce back. Jays need to get something going. Any thoughts there?
Yeah, I was just trying to look. I mean, I obviously Gosman's been really solid and kind of needs to get back into that top level form, and I think they can probably get this one. But they're only 5-3 straight up in the full game when Gosman takes the mound, so it's not world beating numbers as far as the full game when you got Gosman on the mound. So maybe it's a spot where first five is better off for the Blue Jays here in this one. And as far as the Cardinals though, it's tough to go against them right now. Tough to bet on the Blue Jays bats right now. I'm going to stay away from this one. This Blue Jays team, they're obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, but you have to imagine at some point they'll have some value, and these bats are going to get rolling. But until that happens, and while the Cardinals currently do have their bats rolling, I'm going to stay out of this one for sure.
I talked about KC Arizona yesterday, and Scotty had a couple of those ugly teams yesterday. The I think he was in on Colorado and maybe Cincinnati or something. Colorado and the Cubs yesterday, and I think he might have split. But the point is, I say, when I go with bad teams, it's usually for some reason it happens to be game one and they lose, and then the bastards go back and win game 2 and 3. And I'm just looking at this. Gallen, listen, if you haven't watched this kid pitch, he's worth the price of admission. The kid has been electric. His ball jumps. He has just been in fuego. But they're making you pay a tax. Circa already minus 204. There's no way in holy hell I would play Arizona minus 204 today against Heasley there. But just it's amazing how some of these numbers just get inflated because of the starting pitcher.
Right. And I mean, Kansas City, to stick with that game in general, I mean, Kansas City's obviously been losing, but their offense has still been, putting together some runs. So it's not like they're not this full pushover team. They're not good by any means, but they at least, like, on any given day, you get them, they can jump on you for 5 runs and maybe get a nice start from their pitchers. So I'm not saying that happens today necessarily, but you know what I'm saying as far as it's not an easy fade against a team like that is kind of what I'm saying.
So you're talking my language. Last night, we had the 2 first fives in the full games. First flash, Brewers 2-0. Kansas City puts up a 4 spot in the first inning. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then after one, Kansas City 4, D-backs 3. I'm like, oh,
Right. Right.
Listen, pitchers, your team puts up a crooked number for you. Your job is to get out 1, 2, 3, or get out with no runs so they can put more runs up for you, not to get 4 and give up a field goal. I mean, please.
Yeah. Hey, at least we're seeing some more fireworks. It's not the 40-degree 2-1, 3-1 contest that we were talking about in April. At least we're getting a few fireworks here in May.
Pucks tonight. Again, Rangers favored for the first time. Opened up -115. Now it's a straight pick on 105, 105. Looking to tie the series. Again, this reminds me of the Bruins, Carolina, where just every home team won. Sheturkin stood on his head. He is just, he's the one guy like Vasilevsky. I haven't talked about it. Listen, guys, I was wrong. I had the Panthers going to the Eastern Conference Final or the Leafs and winning, facing the AVES. We still have the AVES alive. But the fact is, I didn't think that the Lightning was going to get by the Leafs. I didn't. Hey, it got to a game 7. And let's be real, 2-time defending champs. Vasilevsky. That's all I got to say. I mean, this Panther team is got to be saying, are you kidding me? They put on 45 shots or something, and Vasilevsky shuts them out. Hats off to the Lightning. They will be sitting and resting. They will be rooting for a Carolina Rangers 7-game war. I think Carolina obviously caught a peek of what the Lightning did. I think a real big game for Carolina tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, are you leaning towards them as far as the big game, or do you think the home field advantage reigns supreme? Because I don't know. I'm not the hockey guy, so I'd be talking out of my ass if I had any true opinions on this one.
Well, for a number's sake, you're getting a great price on Carolina. Obviously, You're not getting them as a favorite. If you lose tonight, you're in for a 6-7 game. I mean, if you couldn't beat them in game 3 or game 4 up 2-0, you're not gonna, and you lose game 4, you're not gonna beat them in game 6. So just embrace yourself for a 7-game series. And the Lightning will have a full week off. They probably go play a couple rounds of golf in between,
probably,
and then get ready. So that's that. And here's the shocker of all shocker, guys. Edmonton favored tonight. -110, 115 against Calgary. Shockingly, please correct me if I'm wrong here. Edmonton now leads the series 2-1, correct?
Oh, yeah.
They're giving money away. The under-over is still at 6.5, guys. They usually get that by the end of the first period. And the in-game under-overs is at 12 or 13. So if you like offense, run to your window, get a cup of coffee. 9:30 start there. And we talked about Golden State, Dallas. Gut tells me Dallas finds a way to get it to a game 5. I think they find a way, but what do I know there? It should be a fun game. If you do grab the Dallas money line right now, -115, just watch the first quarter. You should get a good feel on what's going on there in the first quarter. So closing thoughts, Riley.
I've got nothing crazy, man. I'm excited for this 3-game series. I'm hoping we get some decent weather, and I can actually get out to the ballpark tomorrow night on the south side for the Red Sox and White Sox. I think Giolito's on the mound back off the COVID list, so that's interesting there. And speaking of COVID lists, as far as Josh Donaldson himself, that was I don't know, not to do any conspiracy talk here, but Yankees put him on the COVID list before they suspend him a game. I don't know what type of that was getting some interesting reaction from the Twitter sphere. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm really interested to see as far as that whole situation. Not to keep harping on it, but I talked about how maybe it's a weird spark for the White Sox. Maybe it does the opposite for the damn New York Yankees. Is really the only thing that we didn't really talk about so far. I mean, they lost obviously both of those games on Sunday and lose to the Orioles last night. Aside from Aaron Judge, it appears like the bats are cooling off in the Bronx. So I don't know whether or not it's because of that situation. Is obviously beside me, but maybe we see the Yankees start to fall a little bit amid, and obviously will The headlines will read drama. Whether or not it has anything to do with that, we'll see. And we were talking pre-show. I think he's probably going to cost too much money, but whether or not Donaldson sticks around in that clubhouse is more of an interesting topic than I think people are leading on. And if you didn't see Aaron Judge, he didn't condemn Josh Donaldson, but he didn't exactly support him to the 10th degree by any means. So could be an interesting storyline for the Yankees clubhouse here going forward into the middle of the season here. But aside from that, I'm ready for some solid baseball and some solid NBA and NHL action tonight, my friend.
Yeah, full slate MLB, a lot of good games, a lot of games just to sit and watch. We're going to look to dive in further. It's only 11:51 back east. We got plenty of time till first pitch. Again, no midday market report today. Our hopes is to have a closing bell around 6 or 6:15, subject to change all week. So I'll keep everyone posted there. Two big games in hockey. Both game fours, both Calgary and Rangers looking to even the series. Now, I never thought I'd say Calgary there, but Edmonton is taking notice there. And it would be I know, long way to go. I said all along Calgary was overvalued, but an Edmonton AVES Western Conference final would be one hell of a series. And then Dallas again trying to, do what the Panthers couldn't do and just win a game and save face, and then anything can happen there. So from myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from our co-host, the one and only Riley Magnuson at Riley_Magnuson, the one. We wish everyone a happy and blessed Tuesday. If you are wagering and investing today, please do it responsibly. If you do have a problem, ask for help. Why? Myself and Riley care. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. Have a good day. Watch the board. Any questions, reach out to us on the Twitter, and we'll answer any question that you have. Otherwise, we will catch you soon.